Thank you so much for joining us today. Do you remember in the 2000, I believe it was 2008 movie, Batman movie, when the Joker jokingly told Batman, this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object?
You just couldn't let me go, could you? This is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. You truly are incorruptible, aren't you? Huh? You won't kill me out of some
It's stuck in my head because I'm thinking, what's going to happen if an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? It's an interesting quandary. Modern science has proved that this quandary, which is also sometimes called the irresistible force paradox, it can never exist. There is never a force that's so unstoppable and irresistible because it would require a finite amount of energy, which really doesn't exist in a finite universe. And on the other hand, there's never a such thing as an object that is immovable because it would have to have an infinite amount of mass. And if it had an infinite amount of mass, it would collapse under its own weight and it would create kind of a black hole. But it's still a really interesting paradox nonetheless, and an interesting riddle to consider. There was one answer in a Ian Banks novel, Walking on Glass. And the answer to the riddle was the unstoppable force stops and the immovable object moves. In short, something has to give. And this is true in the business and marketing world as well. Our economy, the market conditions, consumer tastes, those are all unstoppable forces. Those are all invisible hands that surround us. And I think that you would agree that those things are always in perpetual motion. They're always moving and they really can't be stopped per se. So they are an unstoppable force. Even the government with its billions of bailout dollars and stimulus money and all of the tax cuts in the world can't change the economy these days. The Federal Reserve, it has many efforts to manipulate the interest rates, and we've saw over the past few years that their efforts proved fruitless. Large companies even try to throw marketing dollars and throw money into marketing campaigns to try and influence consumer tastes and change consumer tastes to fit into the mold that they want it to fit into. And those don't work anymore. So those are the forces that businesses are up against. And those forces really are unstoppable. So why is it then, as I'm thinking about this in terms of business, why is it that most businesses have marketing strategies that are also immovable? They hold tight to their traditions, like not holding tight to tradition is going to sink and fail the company. Something has to change. Something has to move. Something has to give. We know that it's not going to be the economy. We know that it's not going to be the marketing environment. So as a result, our businesses, we have to change our marketing strategies. We cannot be stuck in the traditional. We have to get rid of those immovable marketing strategies and be flexible and move.